What's up, everyone? We are back today, and we are talking about a completely different segment of dash cam. If you're following us for a while, you know we used a bunch of high-performance dash cams, and while the optical tech keeps getting better, the physical footprint often ruins the aesthetic of a carefully designed vehicle interior. If you are driving a sleek car, the last thing you want is a bulky plastic square hanging off your windshield with a thick wire dangling down to your cigarette lighter. A lot of people want vehicle security, but they don't want a camera that looks like an afterthought. They want something that fits perfectly and feels like a genuine factory option. So, we got our hands on the FITCAMX Dash Cam, specifically the standard model designed for our Toyota CHR. This system is built entirely around the concept of stealth integration and OEM aesthetics. Let's see if the hardware and the 4K recording capabilities actually live up to that custom-fit promise. When we first cracked open the box for the standard front-facing model, we immediately noticed how different the packaging is compared to a traditional dash cam. The package is definitely bigger than any dash cam we used before. Instead of a standalone camera block, we received the main camera unit already integrated into a replacement upper plastic panel, designed specifically for the rear-view mirror housing of the CHR. Alongside the main unit, FITCAMX included a surprisingly robust phone mount that holds up quite strongly with the windshield. Digging into the accessory box, we found the essential wiring, which in this case is a dedicated cable for power. FITCAMX also provides this massive heavy-duty pry tool with this metal edge on one side, which is crucial for popping off stubborn factory trim without damaging the plastic. One of our favorite inclusions is the dual-sided USB card reader. It features a standard Type A port on one end and a Type C port on the other, meaning we can quickly pull footage directly into both a computer and a modern smartphone without needing extra dongles. Finally, the kit includes a detailed user manual specifically for the camera, another manual covering the phone mount, and a 64GB SD card to get the system recording right out of the box. According to the FITCAMX website, while we are testing the standard 4K front-only version, people also have the option to upgrade to a dual-channel system that pairs the 4K front camera with a 1080p rear camera for full coverage. Taking a closer look at the actual camera unit integrated into the casing, the layout is extremely minimalist to maintain that factory look. Right in the middle of the housing, there are only two physical buttons, a dedicated power button and a camera button for manual snapshots or locking emergency footage. Right beside those controls, we can see three small holes machined into the plastic. The first one houses the built-in microphone for recording cabin audio. Beside that is an LED indicator light that lets us know the recording status and Wi-Fi connection at a glance. And the final recessed hole is the physical reset button for hard rebooting the system if necessary. On the right side of the unit, perfectly placed for easy access, is the SD card slot, where we inserted the provided 64GB card. This dashcam supports up to 256 GB, so in case you want to store more footage, you have that option. The entire module feels solid, and the matte black finish of the plastic panel perfectly matches the texture and color of the original Toyota interior trim. It doesn't look like a camera. It just looks like the housing around the rearview mirror got slightly larger. The absolute best part of the FITCAMX system is the installation process. We have spent hours routing thick multi-channel cables through the headliners of massive off-road rigs, so we appreciate a clean setup. Installing this unit in the CHR was surprisingly easy. We just had to take the included pry tool, carefully remove the factory top panel behind the rearview mirror, and replace it entirely with the new panel housing the dash cam. There is no messy wiring routing down the A-pillar to the fuse box for the standard setup. Instead, we simply disconnected the factory plug powering the vehicle's adaptive cruise control sensor, inserted the provided Y cable to split the power and plugged it directly into the camera. It is a true plug-and-play solution that draws power directly from the overhead console area. FITCAMX provides this exact type of custom casing for a massive variety of different vehicle models, ensuring that the camera perfectly aligns with the specific mirror housing of each car. Once it snaps into place, it completely disappears from the driver's perspective. You literally cannot see it from behind the wheel, which means absolutely zero distraction while driving. While the stealth design is the main selling point, the optical performance still has to deliver. The standard model we are running records in true 4K resolution. In our experience, the footage looks sharp and carries excellent dynamic range, as you can see. It supports WDR, so light and dark adjust quite well. The camera utilizes an f1.6 large aperture lens, which pulls in a massive amount of light for superior night vision capabilities when driving on unlit roads. Because there is no screen on the device itself, which would defeat the purpose of the OEM look, everything is controlled via the built-in 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi connection. You just connect your smartphone to the camera's hotspot and open the FITCAMX app to view a live feed, adjust the loop recording settings, tweak the G-sensor sensitivity, and download video files directly to your device. It is a seamless loop that requires very little daily interaction. When the car starts, the dash cam will automatically turn on. When the car is locked, the dash cam will automatically turn off. The app looks clean and has a user-friendly interface. Settings can be changed through here, while footage can be reviewed through here. At the end of the day, we think the FITCAMX is a brilliant solution for a very specific type of driver. If you demand a massive touchscreen and a ton of physical controls on your dash cam, this isn't for you. But if you are someone who hates the look of aftermarket electronics cluttering up your windshield and just wants a powerful, invisible 4K camera that looks like a part of your car, this is the best option on the market. So, why would we choose FITCAMX over the sea of generic options out there? When we look at the comparison, the hardware gap is pretty clear. We are getting a true 2160p 4K resolution. Most generic competitors are still pushing 1080p with only 1 GB of RAM, which just doesn't provide the processing overhead needed for clean 4K files. For those of us in the States, the official US FCC certification and a solid 1-year warranty provide a level of legitimacy and long-term security that those 6-month no-name brands simply can't offer. However, we found some places that could be improved. Like the suction mount is impressively strong and sticks to the glass perfectly, we found that the long gooseneck part could definitely be a bit stronger. If you're doing any serious off-roading, that gooseneck can wobble, which is something to keep in mind if your rig spends a lot of time on the trails. On the processing side, the camera does feature WDR, or wide dynamic range, to help balance out the lighting, but we feel like the HDR could be a bit better. Still, the integration is flawless, and the Y cable installation takes mere minutes. The provided accessories, especially that dual-sided card reader and heavy-duty pry tool, really show that FITCAMX understands what a successful DIY install looks like. Anyway, that is our deep dive into the FITCAMX OEM style dash cam. We want to know your thoughts. Are you perfectly fine with standard suction cup dash cams? Or are you willing to swap out your interior trim panels to get that clean factory-installed look? Let us know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this technical breakdown, do not forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more gear reviews, and we will see you in the next one. Peace.